Oh, that's actually quite a difficult question because anxiety is a range of things. It's a normal response to something unknown. It can also be a future-orientated mood response to something that you fear. Yeah. A little anxiety is actually quite good for us. It's motivational, but when it becomes out of control, then it definitely becomes a problem. But anxiety is actually quite a normal response to day-to-day life.
Yes, I think it's a real problem because personally it's really hard for me to get out of the house because of how bad I feel. Sometimes you can suffer physical sickness from anxiety.
With the rise of mental health awareness, anxiety is becoming a lot more real to a lot more people, especially workplaces and businesses. I believe all mental health disorders are a large problem, especially in New Zealand and other countries. There are so many statistics nowadays showing that so many teenagers are affected not just by anxiety, but by other mental illnesses.
I believe it is a real problem. Yes, definitely. Because if it's left unchecked, it grows bigger. So it can be from childhood. It can be something like being separated from your parents, going to school for the first day or going to daycare or something for the first day, where they feel anxious about what is new and anxious about leaving their parents because of security. And if that's not normalised, then it becomes a bigger problem as the child grows, to the point where in adulthood it can be quite isolating.
So, in my opinion, the symptoms of anxiety is just mainly fear.
It can start off with something as small as overthinking.
It's manifested in restlessness and moodiness and tiredness, in physical symptoms of not being able to sleep.
It is something saying you can't do this, no matter how hard you try.
Or it can be as big as thoughts about hurting yourself.
It is like that feeling that you're never going to reach the goal you've put out for yourself. It is honestly just an anchor to your life. It will hold you back no matter what.
Or becoming depressed, angry. It manifests in different ways for different people. So it's very hard to say, okay, these people have got these symptoms and therefore they're anxious. And if it's left unchecked, it can go into depression, suicidal thoughts, abuse of alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever. I think educating people to normalise the smaller symptoms, and then being able to actually help them in the way of saying, well, okay, so this is the thought you have. What if you thought about it differently? Because in that way, the thought would then have an impact on their feelings and their behaviour. Teaching them to have a balance in life, so that you're actually balancing your physical, mental and spiritual states.
What helps me is the 5 senses game, where you focus on 5 things that you can see, you can taste, you can touch, you can hear, and you can smell. That helps me to take my mind off of it in the time of need. Although others might have other methods to focus on anxiety or help focus on anxiety and stress, this is one that helps me the most. I like mindless activities that help just get it off my head, basically.
You need to put yourself in a good space, mentally and physically, because you're not going to get anywhere if you are just upset and surrounded by negativity. You need to be around people who take care of you, people who love you, and who make you happy.